tend to want to reflect our emotions from other people around us, especially our loved ones. We think we can be happy by making them happy, that this illusory fulfillment becomes our life goal. The most common case is how we attach ourselves to what our parents want from us, that we forget what we need from ourselves. That being the best case scenario, by the way, because most often we forget we even need anything from ourselves. It is among what we learn best while we grow up to dim our light. They want us to see the world through their fitting perspective, and everything they tell us is easily believable because it's what you're taught to do all of your long life. To believe that your daddy can't tell you a lie, that your mother is always on your side. It is true, they do everything out of love, but it's only love from the outside. From the inside, it's fear. Fear that we would lose and sometimes end up just like them. So they try to prepare us for something they also haven't understood. Life. But see, reality is subjective. Who you were with when you were wherever you are all together convened to create your reality, your personal view of the world. So, to break it to you, not everything your daddy thinks out loud while you're seated around your dining table is true. It's more of history. His story. His exaggerated experiences are tiny dots that he connects and refers to whatever they form as the truth. But you remember always, no one else has lived your life but you. There will never be a life designed exactly as yours. Your unique experiences have given you a unique way of seeing things. You kissed a boy and you liked it. Your father never did. You want to marry that man that fucks you so good, but your mama thinks it's not cool. Well, guess what? Your mama never fucked your man. Embrace your path, because your path is a real thing. It embodies itself through your desires, and your life is yours to experience through each and every one of them. Thank you. That's a poem. Thank you so much. Next poem in this one's called Baby, Your Love Hurts. Yeah. Okay. You know what? Maybe this isn't supposed to be superficially beautiful, just secretly truthful. Maybe ours isn't supposed to be faithful, just me being hopeful that you will change. Maybe ours, in a different case, is more of having my knees pinned against my bedroom floor as though God don't already know what my heart beats for. Just too little air into this suffocating romance. Maybe prayer isn't supposed to always be answered to mirror our preferences, because most of our realest desires are obscured to our conscience anyway, or haven't found their way out of disguise. Maybe I actually enjoy wasting all my precious moments over analyzing where you've been and who you've been with. Well, if that's the case, I'm definitely confident you're mine. You're the one I'm blindfoldedly making these bad decisions for, hoping they finally lead us both somewhere as an inseparable one. I took you in once like THC took you in several one more times. Now you're depressing me. I swallow you along some other type of bullshit at the end of a bad day, and you give me a unique kind of high, not gonna lie. Future me fears the day he can't get to you. So then, I've become a prisoner of this loop of giving you another chance and another chance and another chance. I always spare you a last chance, because it feels too suicidal when I think of letting you go. It's like I'm in denial of a fundamental part of me. My friends keep suggesting I try rehab, but I consistently say no. I'm almost convinced every desire is as relevant as real. Maybe deep down in some part of me, I do adore this destructive devil in you. But still, fuck you for never lying when I asked you, trying to confirm the shit I just heard. That your sex is hot. It's true what they say. I just hope you'd stop fucking me with my standards on a leash, man. Maybe true to you, this had always seemed. Well, I gotta be honest, baby. With you, love hurts. That's a poem. This next one, second last one. Well, it's dark-skinned girl. I think most of y'all know this one. Yeah. And before I finish, I'm really horrible at self-promotion, but if you love my stuff, I have a book here. I'll show it to you. It's called Love at the Heart of Nonsense. If you want it, I've got 2 copies here. It's 13,000. All right. To the dark-skinned girl holding my hand, whose bedroom window wishes that the curtains always be drawn apart, I bet you are the reason the sun showed up earlier today. I bet he prayed you'd come out today. I bet you're the doorknob to open-mindedness. God, you're such a beautiful realization. I bet you had been on God's mind the night before she invented a butterfly. And the stars. I bet on your lips there's a formula for change. I bet your kiss is the trigger for consciousness. I bet on your breath is the pillar of God's sanity. I bet you're the master key that will open any heart more to love. I bet you're my best shot, love, at eternity. So please hold on to me a bit longer. Pull me to yourself, getting closer. Let's drive each other's heat up until our heart prints burn. For just one heartbeat longer with you. That's the poem. Okay, one last one. All right. To a 3-pound brain, it makes little to no sense how the unpainted background of an exquisite piece of art is as essential as the paint strokes themselves, or how a pen full of ink is completely useless if we don't have an empty page. None could be assigned its worth in the absence of the other. If the brain won't do ass work, then that should be directly indicative of the asshole superpower. There's an African proverb that implies that the hunter will always get the glory of the hunt as long as the lion does not learn how to speak. I bet each of our body organs performing life differently, each would perceive itself as the head of stuff that life has to offer, all due to unawareness of the ultimate relationship between all weird existences. But because the brain does the thinking, it therefore dictates the talking and affirms itself out loud as the most important part of the structure. But if all life was an exaltation of humankind, and everything else was created to obey, why then the need to tie down a bull as if to torture him, to manage to take the life out of him? It seems the bull also clings onto life the same way a person would, and it shows in his eyes too. But I want to emphasize my indifference to slaughtering and roasting some beef. I don't believe there's any error anywhere in this system. After all, someone has got to be fired that another one can thank the Lord for a new job. I've learned that every creature experiences life as the center of the universe, as foreign to the rest of the arrangement, as though godliness only incarnates through its kind, when facts are, life is as glorious to humans as it is to a fly hopping on and off shit. Did you know that the dog on your leash also experiences you as mere nature? You're not anything special to him unless you feed, tender, and shelter him. In other words, the dog also creates you in his own image. And that right there is evidence that he's also 100% God. This is true of every belonging to the universe. It is a universe in itself. Take, for instance, the cells running the machine that is you. When a doctor studies just one of these under a microscope, he learns of a whole different world in the cell itself. But when we zoom out of it to take a look at its surroundings, we notice it's just a component in a living person's oxygenated blood. And with reasonable certainty, we must agree with the fact that the cell's inside world is unaware of this oxygen or its origin, yet on it, the entire organism depends. But within this environment, we notice something else. Other cells, whose movement seems so individualistic, it in fact creates a fight. But this contest, when looked at from a further perspective, is what keeps an organ such as the heart alive. It is only able to beat under the crushing of over 37 trillions of distinctively willing cells. Yet to them, this arrangement is a totally unarguable oblivion. Now, let's take a walk around the heart. Do you see how simple it is for her to assume no relationship with her neighboring organs, the liver or the lungs? Even more insanely would be to assume that the heart is aware of the brain, unless they perhaps came across each other in a car accident, under which condition they both wouldn't be alive to have to worry about it. Now, within this moment, we mindfully look around us. Notice this. Stupid, thoughtless nature directly resembles the world inside us. Rivers and creeks run underneath our skin the same way they cross through Earth's crust. Roots run from up to deep into us, to our souls. For myself, the imagery of the clouds often strikes me as that of the brain. Earth, we love to think of it as a rock somehow blessed with life, but neither are we inseparable from the bonds. Simply put, we are the blueprint of this whole being. But as if scared of facing the facts, the truth lingers further to mind. We look at this and conclude as random similarity. As if scared of facing the facts, truth lingers further to mind. But we are not at all different from nature. We are part of it, just experiencing it from a comparative perspective. If you don't believe this, stand on the edge of a tower and hover your sight over city traffic and tell me how much of it doesn't resemble staring down at a rail of ants fidgeting to take back home a breadcrumb. It's just a complexity in us tolerating the belief in the possible existence of much bigger sentient beings that couldn't see us with their naked eye. We just couldn't explain them. The same way an ant trapped in your shoe sole pattern couldn't explain you if it tried to, unless you perhaps have an idea of where it could begin. And so it seems we are also cells or organs in a much bigger body than our human mind would ever claim to comprehend. Thank you very much.